Touche.
Touche.
Yeah, you're going to pick up on that reference to the movie or no?
Yeah, I just watched it again last night.
What number is this?
3. I've seen it 3 times now.
I don't like knowing the amount of times that you've touched dong to that movie.
Yeah, how many times did you watch the beginning of the movie? Not the whole movie.
The first,
like the first
35 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah, that's actually the screensaver on my TV.
I would not be surprised. Chad put his glasses on because he wants to look smart.
It's working.
I am smart.
Chad's like, ooh, I picked an artistic video. Let me show you how film reviewers do it. Look at him.
I think he's cute. Where's Justin?
He's always farting around. Oh my god.
Hey guys.
It's me.
Jeez.
This is because we got a view on our short that was like, why is the villager guy low-key fine AF or something like that?
Because he is.
And so now Justin wants to be you.
What is that photo?
This is just me at a film festival.
Turn your mic up.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I can't see shit.
Bleh. Shit.
He came on here with a Chad
What about
face,
now?
but doing dad impressions. That's good.
That was good.
Good morning.
Hey, Chad.
That's not how Chad would say it.
Oh. Sean Baker's Anora was a masterful exploration of contemporary urban life, deftly intertwining elements of screwball comedy and social critique and emotional depth.
Well, my job here is done.
So I'll go home, boys.
I wish this fucking thing would stay on my head. Where's my tape?
You need to cut a bigger mouth hole.
Harry
Harry, your chair is very farty.
Harry needs new gear entirely.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The scissors coming out the other way.
How about now?
Solid.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Now it definitely looks like Chad.
Wait, why?
The open mouth,
Yeah.
the gape.
This is Chad watching Anora. Oh.
Stop. Stop right now.
Oh.
No, hey, you guys. Don't.
Allie, did you finish it?
Of course I did. It was an assignment.
Yeah, rewatching it last night. First of all, I was laughing because the movie is so funny. Second, I was laughing just knowing how tortured you guys were watching this because I knew you were having a terrible time. I could see Justin and Chelsea there just like, ugh, the whole time. I could see Steve and Allie just like bouncing off of each other and being like, this is such a Chad movie, God.
What about me?
Harry kind of liked it.
Harry was like, Chad picked us. This is really cool. My older brother's the best.
Yeah, I was
Anything Chad
upstairs.
picks is great.
I was upstairs when Harry and Brittany were watching it, and I could hear them laughing. I'm like, oh no. They got us.
funny.
It's very funny.
We'll get to it.
I have tape somewhere.
Today on Total Dog Shit, we are talking about Anora. It's an Oscar-winning film that I really enjoyed, and I would guess that my siblings do not. So let's see what they think.
What are you talking about? I loved it.
Was it good or was it good or was it total dog shit?
Let's find out.
First of all, I want to know if you think you enjoyed thinking about us watching this movie more, or we enjoyed thinking about you watching Minecraft more.
Might be about the same.
Probably. Because I really did enjoy thinking about you having to pay your hard-earned dollars to go see Minecraft.
Yeah, but the joke's kind of on you because I sort of enjoyed Minecraft. And I know you hated this.
The joke's on you because I think we all pulled something positive from the movie at some point in it, which we'll get to. But I think you got to try harder, Chad.
Oh, God. Harry's already alluding to the fact that him and Chad understand some Academy Award-winning symbolism that we weren't smart enough to understand.
Oh, Harry, I've got things locked and loaded that you guys are not gonna love.
If this is your response to the Minecraft movie, then I don't know if you got it.
Okay,
I don't know if you're going to be able to
hold
tangle with documentary film school kids to today's standards. Like, I don't think you got it anymore. because this was a pretty straightforward movie. There wasn't like a lot to like try to dig beneath the surface. Like it was there at the end. Like we'll talk about
comments
it.
are coming. Comments are coming.
Chad just did the head tilt of disagreement. You're an idiot.
Yeah, you're missing out.
I mean-
You don't understand the film if that's what you got out of it. You know, the way they went from a party film to a Three Stooges film to a Poor Things That's Sad film.
Yeah. Well, so
I can't believe Harry missed the symbolism.
I was taking this one easy on you guys.
Let's get into it.
Because I know what I have ready to show you, and I just need to test the waters.
Do you have anything ready to show us that's less, let's see, what can we say on YouTube? That's less straight up adult film?
There are some definitely cheeks clapping in this one.
A lot of cheeks clapping.
Like, I'd like to watch something less OnlyFans if you don't mind.
Well, let me say this, that I actually picked the movie Pig, but you guys were like, no, we can't do that because we won't get enough views.
We're not going to get enough views on this. No one's seen Anora.
That's what I'm saying.
Then why'd you pick it?
You picked it!
I picked Pig. You guys said no.
Well, if we don't get any views on this, we're done letting you pick.
No, that's not how this game works. I actually get another pick because you guys denied the movie that I chose.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
So, should we start at the beginning?
Yep. My very first note is, oh no, ... boob city.
Yeah, it had me at frame 1.
I'm sure it did.
Totally.
But here's the thing.
I totally
Why
feel
would
that.
you want your sister to watch something that made you have tingly pants? Like, I don't want to think about your tingly pants while I'm watching a movie. I don't want to think about my brothers looking at Boob City.
Well, I didn't have tingly pants.
It's very Last of Us, Saxon, and
Last of Us.
Lachlan. Oh, White Lotus. Whatever, they're all the
Nice
same
try.
to me now.
She's checking her notes. What was that insult I had? Oh, I fucked it
Oh,
up.
I didn't write that down, but...
Right when the movie opens, Chad goes, "Oh, this is the best film I've ever seen."
Whenever you do an impression of Chad getting excited, you sound like Randy from South Park.
Oh.
I would like to have a sex worker call into the show and tell us if that's what it's really like to work in a club.
It seemed pretty realistic.
I felt like the seediness was pretty close.
Like, I just want to know what the behind the scenes are like, you know?
Yeah, I imagine it's somewhat like that. I mean, I don't know, but they're talking about clients and just kind of bullshitting and.
Yeah.
I like the day in, day out edit. She's with one dude, and then the next scene she's hustling for another dude. I like.
Yeah,
that.
it's all these hard cuts that make it feel like they improvised documentary style, but I know that they didn't because I saw some interviews with either the director or the cinematographer. I forget.
So,
which
one of the questions that I had when I was watching it is, like, because here's why I would like a sex worker to call in. Her boss was very chill. Like, I feel like she didn't have enough rules.
I bet a lot of them are now.
I thought like the depiction of the strip club was really well done compared to other movies. And
based
like
on
thinking
Harry's
about.
research.
I know.
Oh,
I
sorry.
don't,
Yeah, I did a lot of research for this one for sure. Went to all the clubs in Iowa.
don't want to know what strip clubs you've been to.
You want to hear something
And-
crazy? Is I'm 32 and I've never been to a strip club.
What?
Never been.
How not?
Like, when's a good time to go?
How not?
I don't know, when you like turn old enough and all your drunk friends are like, let's go to the strip club, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll go.
By then, they were all done with it.
I just don't understand why you would want to go to a room with other people and all get boners together. It just seems
You wouldn't understand.
uncomfortable.
You
Yeah.
just wouldn't
It is.
understand.
It is weird.
It's a strange concept if you think about it. Like, let's all go to one place and get boners next to each other.
What's wrong with that?
I liked that it showed like the perspective from the dancer. Like I liked that they were talking shit on the clients. It showed a side of it that was like, yeah, this is kind of gross, but the dancers are kind of not always the case, but they're kind of like shitting on the clients, and they're, I don't know, almost like they are in control of the situation, even though usually those places are pretty seedy. I liked the whole point of view that the beginning gave from the strippers. I thought that was cool and well done. When we first showed the opening and the credits were starting to roll, that's at the beginning. I was like, oh no, just with the red text, kind of like no real animation. It would just look like a very simple font. I'm like, this is such a Chad film. Like, this is
Harry was like, this editing is getting in the way of me enjoying the boobies.
My first note is, Allie will love this.
Don't ever release the text that I was sending you while I was watching it, just continuously saying how much
she was
I hated the first 40 minutes and how much we were cooked because Harry and Chad were going to team up and be like, the artistry of the bosoms.
Well, something I find interesting about like the filmmaking in it is the anamorphic lenses. It's like the anamorphic lenses in the film are very, very wide, and I love anamorphic filmmaking. And
I do have a note about those later.
I've spent a lot of time researching anamorphic lenses and just how they're used in film and getting the widest shot possible. And I invested in an anamorphic setup, and then when I filmed with Chad, he goes, "Can you take the fisheye off this?" The fisheye.
Fisheye.
And then you love this film that is like
so
ultra wide.
And what we were shooting, it didn't work
Fisheye
for
is
that.
a pretty particular vibe for you to have gone to film school and just claim a wide-angle lens as a fisheye.
Well, because when you look at it on his camera, it's like super...
It's wide. It's an anamorphic lens.
I know, but it was like rounded, and I was going down a hallway, and I didn't need it that wide, and it was for our documentary. We were just sitting there in a room. We weren't like...
Every documentary is filmed with anamorphic now.
I know, but this was an ugly room.
Go watch Netflix.
Us in a square frame, and that's it.
You could have cropped it.
Anyway, cinematography was pretty great. It was by this guy, Drew Daniels. There's some interesting interviews on the internet of him talking about working on this film that I recommend you check out. I know you guys loved the film, so...
Link them. You can't just mention resources and not send them to us.
I just wish they wouldn't have used the fisheye lens on this film. That kind of ruined the whole thing.
I like the cinematography.
Yeah, me too.
The whole beginning,
Go on.
It felt like, you mentioned documentaries. Some scenes, like, it felt like it was filmed like day in the life documentary style. I really liked the beginning. I think it set me up for a different movie that we ended up getting, because it was very much like scene to scene. It felt like there wasn't much of a narrative. It was just like establishing a tone and a place with these characters, and I was along for the ride for that movie, and I kind of settled in to watch that movie. But then there's a turn where I'm like, this is now a different movie that we're watching. This is now more of like a really funny comedy, kind of wacky, kind of goofy. But the beginning was a lot more like slower paced. And I thought the whole movie was going to be more of like, oh no, there's not going to be a story in this, is there? This is like a Chad pick, so it's going to be just these characters living in New York.
It was a Chad pick.
Who are dancers, who have this interaction, and then it's going to end abruptly. That's what I was prepared for, and I think I got something that was a lot more of a full narrative than I was expecting.
Yeah, when I first saw it took me by surprise too, because it takes that hard turn into like a farce, becomes comedic,
It is so farce.
That. But yeah, sometimes his movies do have an element of comedy, but this took it to another level, I thought. And the editing at the beginning of it, a lot of jump cuts, hard cuts. Just seemed like we were watching this world in little vignettes.
Oh, Chad was hard cut for sure.
Very hard cut.
Chad and Harry were both hard cut. Harry's like, I just really love the cinematography of the entire first 30 minutes.
And the sound design, the slapping is so realistic.
Yeah.
Oh, nice try.
It's because I have a sweater on, but I was doing the...
Can you guys hear that?
Okay, fine, I'll do the boring way.
And so at the beginning, when I mentioned there wasn't a lot beneath the surface, like what I mean by that is like, obviously there's things, what's his name? What's the director's name?
Sean Baker.
Sean Baker. There's things he's trying to say. The movie says a lot of things about the different like class dynamics, and in his movies, apparently likes to represent people who are on the fringe of society and like show a perspective from people that you don't often see or think about in movies. They're usually like cast off to the side. And so he's definitely saying a lot. But what I mean by like everything's kind of on the surface is you don't have to come up and try to make up your own metaphors. Like he's presenting it in a very straightforward way. And I expected like a Yorgos Lanthimos, that director, the Poor Things guy. I expected that type of movie where it's just like you watch something, you don't know what the fuck you just saw, and now you got to make up something and try to figure out like, oh, that he was burping bubbles because it means that society is in a bubble. And you don't have to do that. There is a lot to say in this movie, but it's not presented in like a really like ambiguous way.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Like the point I was making.
Yeah, it is straightforward, which I appreciated about it.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
Me neither. I thought Chad was going to throw us to the wolves, but he gave us, I think, a softball.
They are coming.
I like the kid actor in it. He's pretty funny.
Little Russian
he was
boy.
good.
I kept expecting a reveal of him. I kept expecting a reveal of him not being that old.
Yeah, I was thinking he was going to be super young, and then like...
I expected them to be like, here's the twist, he's a minor, or something.
I was thinking that, or maybe...
Because it was a Chad movie.
Or maybe he was not rich, and that he was just one of those TikTok fuckboys who was like...
Well, there's
putting
so
on
many
a
of those in
front,
Nashville.
like renting a place, because people do that. Like they rent nice-ass cars and big mansions and shit, and then post it on TikTok.
Yeah, I went into this not knowing anything about the movie. Like I didn't watch a trailer. I knew like the headline that said a exotic dancer meets a rich oligarch. Like just that's all I really knew, and I expected it to be a love story, and she and him were gonna start to become like the main characters, and it was gonna be those two against the world with their two like very opposing lifestyles. And once again, like that was also not what I got. So going into this one blind was pretty fun because I expected him to be in it more once they introduced his character, and I expected this to be much more of a love story, which I did not take that away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the posters and marketing kind of made it look like a love story.
I just want to know, why is that the thing with movies now? Why is it like marketed as something else just to get people to the theater?
Because they need to get people to the theater.
It's so annoying. Like, Chad, you always defend that. You're like, well, I mean, yeah, they tricked you into watching it. You thought it was going to be a love story. And it's like, well,
I don't think I ever
maybe they should just present
like
it on what it is. Like, you're not going to go see Shrek 5 if it looks like fucking Mission Impossible. Like, I just want to go see Shrek 5.
I mean,
I would
maybe.
go see the Mission Impossible Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that was a bad example because I would absolutely go see that.
If they presented it as Mission Impossible and you got there and hey, donkey, you would not be confused.
Wait.
What?
Why is your Shrek also a little bit Arnold Schwarzenegger?
There's a lot of it Arnold Schwarzenegger. Primarily.
Let's hear your Shrek then, bitch.
Oh, I don't have one.
Come on, Chad, let's hear it. Everyone, let's hear the best Shrek impression.
Sorry, my mic stopped working.
Hey, donkey.
Hey, donkey.
It's me. Slap.
Hey, donkey.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Honestly, it was probably too good.
This motherfucker's spitting. Ogres are like onions, donkey.
Justin's like, get to the chopper, donkey.
Yeah, let's hear your donkey impression.
Oh boy.
Don't touch it. Don't do it.
We definitely have to do Shrek 5 when it comes out, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Chad's not voting on that.
Here's my experience in watching this movie. Hated it, liked it, hated it. That's the outline.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, I mean, I can't jump to the end, but that's how I feel about it. Chad, you'll be happy to know it's not all bad news in the Wallien household.
I wrote some nice things down. Like, I loved her tinsel hair, and her butterfly tattoos were nice.
And the
she
scene
was awesome.
Yeah,
She's so good.
when they
Mikey
tie her up,
Madison.
that whole scene when she's tied up in the house, and it's just like chaos and screaming and why do you have her tied up? It's like, I liked all that.
Be careful, bro.
I started off, once I got past the initial titty overload,
What's that?
Which it just is too much for me. I don't enjoy watching like a lot of nudity. I don't want to see people do intimate things. So that for me was like an uncomfortable experience. I get why it's in there. I get that it was telling a certain part of the story. I don't need it to be entertained by a movie. Like I'm not in sex scenes and stuff like that. It's not entertaining to me. So the first 30, 40 minutes were rough for me because I don't enjoy that type of content.
It seems like a cop-out. It's cheap.
However, I mean, maybe sometimes, but maybe not for like the context of this film.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying like sex scenes in general have become cheap.
For me, it didn't read as necessarily entertaining, even though
you were entertained.
I'm talking about general like nudity. I'm not really interested.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, it was more about setting the stage for what her character's life is like and the seedy environment in which she has to work or
we need to count for how many times you and Harry have said the word seedy. Like we need to look, whoever edits this needs a little seedy counter in the corner. No, but what I'm saying, I understand why it's there. I'm just saying, for me personally, I don't gravitate towards movies where I need to look at a lot of like naked bodies because it's just not a comfortable thing for me to look at or watch. So
yeah, me neither.
The first like 30 or 40 minutes for me were too much. However, once it got past that, I thought she was so cute. Like, I love her character. Sorry, I just said like. I love her character so much. She's such a badass. And there's so many times throughout my notes where I, in all caps, wrote respect the hustle because there were just so many times that she was such a boss. Like, for example, when she said, when he asked her to marry her and he was like, no, when he asked her to be his girlfriend for a week and he was like, I'll give you this much money. And she was like, no, I want $15,000 up front in cash. And I was like,
that's what kind of bothered me about something at the end.
We'll get to it.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But, yeah, I thought she was a badass too. I also like that she wasn't very Hollywood badass. There were scenes when the goons are in the house and they're on the phone with the
goons.
Toros. They're on the phone with Toros, and then like she gets wrapped up in the energy of the room, and then she starts yelling at Toros. And at that point, I didn't know who Toros was, and I was like kind of cringing in my seat. Like I don't know how dark the movie was gonna get, or like how dangerous the characters were, and her like going off on the guy on the phone. I'm just like, she's being aggressive and like taking control and supporting her then husband or boyfriend or whatever he was at the time in a way that kind of went over the line. But it was cool to see that like they didn't just make her always in the right, even when she was like being a badass. Like she was also kind of over the top, and she got extra angry and she like cussed at people she didn't know, and she didn't know the ramifications of what that was. But she was just like, I don't know, very realistic in her depiction of someone who like is in that situation. I thought it was cool how they did it. They didn't just make her just a badass. Like there was a little more to it than like she's in control of the situation. Sometimes she was taking control, but she wasn't really in control of the situation.
That's what was kind of fun about the tension of that scene, is that it was very funny, but also you don't know how dangerous these guys are. So
I know.
While you're laughing, you're like, oh no, like what's...
Yeah.
Is this guy going to assault her? You know, are they going to?
I thought they were going to kill her. Like, she's causing
laughing
way
too
much of a problem for them. Yeah, she was hilarious. And I loved the part where she broke that guy's nose. But I was also really nervous for her because I was like, these guys seem very dangerous. But I loved how the more she yelled, the more her accent came out. I really enjoyed her character.
It's such bullshit that like that scene with them in the room, Chelsea clocked it. She goes, she's going to end up with the bald guy in the end. And I was like, how do you figure that? This is like a mobster. Seriously, so early on.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a part of the movie that subverted expectations. When you first meet the goons, they're like coming up in the car, and that's where I'm thinking, okay, this is where the movie takes a little bit of a darker turn. They're now bringing in like some of these people that seem almost like mob bossy. Like this is going to become a little bit more of a darker. She's getting involved with like a crime family of some kind, and that wasn't the place they took it. But at the like back of my head, I was thinking the whole time, this is going to take a darker turn. Something's going to happen, and this is going to get dark. So
and it is
Chelsea,
dark, but not in that way.
Yeah, it's definitely dark, and it's dark comedy when the chaos is happening in the house, and Toros runs and grabs the scarf, and he like runs across the camera with the scarf. I was laughing really hard, and then like the next scene, it cuts, and she's gagged and tied up on the couch, which is a very dark thing.
And she looks uncomfortably gagged too. Like it looks really tight.
But the way that cut happens between him running across with the scarf and then her gagged by it, it's like, it's funny, but you're also uncomfortable at the same time. I thought that was a really cool tone.
There were a lot of also like funny quotes in leading up to that scene and in that scene. I laughed pretty hard when the priest, who ended up being Toros, saw the picture of the marriage license on his phone. That facial reaction that he had while he was in the church was
and he goes,
hilarious.
He just goes, no.
And he hands the baby over.
Yeah.
And then the while he was on speakerphone and there was all the chaos happening, and Vanya said, I don't know where are we going, because she was like, where are we going, he goes, I don't know, where are we going? And then on the phone Toros was like, where is he going? It was just like I don't know where we are going, where is he going? Just a bunch of chaos. And it made me think of, because then they were all like, he left, and I wrote, he left us.
I'm glad that
I'm not going to leave you.
But that's not what I'm gonna do.
Right.
He left us.
But that's not what I'm gonna do.
I'm glad we got to marinate on this one before reviewing it, because the night of, I was very unhappy. And then as days went on, I thought more about it and started
Justin's
to like
coming
things.
Around.
Hey, that happens in movies all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
I like the middle chunk.
Yeah, I was like frustrated by it because I was so goddamn bored most of the time. And I was like, this movie is so boring. It feels like it's 4 hours.
Justin's bored by boobs and chaos.
I've seen enough of them. You know, they don't call me Chad Walling for nothing.
There goes the name of the episode. Bored by boobs and chaos.
Bored by boobs.
I've traveled the world. I've seen them all. You've seen a couple pairs of tits. You've seen all of them.
Oh, you're going to get grounded for saying stuff like that.
It's not me. It's Chad.
It's Chad.
Oh. Well, yeah.
I can mute your mic, you know.
But no, the whole middle, the second act was pretty damn funny. And I like that I was expecting it to be like a hard-ass mob movie, and it just wasn't. And these people were not bad people. They're just rich and protecting their family legacy. And I thought it was just like a cool twist.
I mean, they were kind of bad. I thought the mom was kind of...
Yeah, the mom's bad. But like
we can get to the mom.
The people who had her were not necessarily bad people. They're just doing their jobs.
Wait,
like the workers.
Yeah.
Before we get to the mom, another part that made me laugh was when they were in the battle scene in the living room, and Toros was really upset with them for not being able to keep her under control, and he was like, what do you mean, she's a little girl? And the guy goes, well, she's not fighting like one.
Oh yeah, that guy with the broken nose is hilarious. He's like he's all concussed and just dwindling into madness the whole film.
Throws up in the car.
Oh, that was so there is absolutely no chance I would have ridden in that car. That was disgusting.
The tonal shift, I was still trying to figure out where the movie was at. So where Justin was saying that Chelsea clocked that she was gonna, or the bald guy was gonna have some sort of relationship with her, or they were gonna have some sort of connection. When they were thinking that, I was thinking he's gonna have to like kill her at some point in the movie. That's what I thought it was gonna go with his character, because it kept trying to show him in like maybe he is a good person, like he doesn't really want to take it further, but she's making him. And there was scenes when they were all out in the town where they were showing him to be kind of a good person. And I'm like, oh no, they're doing this to set us up for the hard moment where he reveals that he's a really bad person and that he has to take her out. And that's how I thought it was going to end, was she was going to get killed and it was going to be by that bald guy.
I think that's part of what I liked, is I never felt like I knew exactly where it was going to go. once it takes that turn, I'm like, oh, wait, where are we going with this? And I never had a full grasp on it.
Just one party scene in this movie was better than all the party scenes in White Lotus.
Yeah. Shooting the fireworks off, having a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, those goons were at that party briefly. I didn't catch them there the first time I saw it, but they were telling people to get off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The party scenes did look like a lot of fun, if I do say so myself. Chad Walleen in the flesh.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, overall, her character was really well written. She pulled it off really well. Like she was totally believable the whole time to me. Even the subtleties of her reactions to things in her face, or the way when he asked her to marry her and she's like telling him not to play, like don't joke around like that. But like the way she did it just felt really believable to me.
I did note, apart from that scene, that I liked, and this is just from a filmmaker's point of view, I love the camera work in that scene. It like starts on his side of the bed, and throughout the whole film, the camera slowly spins around to the other side of the bed. And I don't know if it adds anything to the storytelling. It's just something that I thought was really cool. It's like, I like this movement a lot.
Yeah, there were also a lot of little micro reactions to things in terms of conveying her class status and Igor's class status, like the little looks they would give each other about certain things, or when Vanya lost like 20,000 or whatever it was on like one hand of I forgot what they were playing, maybe blackjack or something, and just the way she looked at it for a second, like confused, kind of sad or whatever, because that's a lot of money to her, but then she smiles. She's like, oh, yeah, because he has all this money, and that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I saw that, too. And when she smiled, she's like, oh, I need to embrace this a little bit because she's with him now.
I'm sure you guys noticed this, too. I'm sure you noticed. Her outfit, when she left the house to help them go find Vanya, was insanely cool.
Yeah, I noticed the boots and the coat.
It was like a totally different character. I want that whole outfit.
Well, that was the mom's clothes.
No, he bought her the coat.
Did he?
I thought so, in Vegas, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because later on, she's wearing the clothes, and the mom's telling her to take off her shit.
The scarf, but I think she throws
scarf.
the coat at Vanya because he bought it for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love when he does the backflip across the bed, like getting ready to have sex.
Yeah.
Just a squirrely little TikTok fuckboy. Like he would be at the Minecraft movie, throwing
His
slushies.
dingus flopping around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Harry,
I
what were
wonder
you gonna say?
how his character was gonna evolve, because like I said, I really thought it was gonna end up being a love story where like we were learning a lot about her and becoming empathetic to her pretty early. But with him, he's very much childish. He's reckless. I was like trying to figure out like, all right, how are we gonna make him more likable, which we eventually make him less likable.
For being such a little pud boy, he had really cool friends. Like the fact that his friends weren't gonna give up his location and they were like protecting him and stuff. I was like, how are these kids so cool? And he's such a little TikTok-y.
Well, I think he was just like visiting, and I'm guessing all those friends were people he met while in town because they all like worked there and had relationships there.
And then they, when he like destroyed everything in that shop, or when they're like breaking all the glass, and then the old guy comes out and just goes, "What the hell?"
It's like a weird zoom on him.
Yeah.
But that guy wasn't an actor, and Sean Baker often kind of includes non-actors in sometimes lead roles, but sometimes, these little periphery characters.
I loved it.
I want to watch more of his movies because, like I said earlier, I read that he does a really good job of really digging into a piece of like a side of culture that you don't usually see in movies, and gives a voice to types of characters or parts of the world that or parts of the US that don't have as much representation in film. And he does all this research, and I was honestly so disappointed because he did all this research in the world of like sex work and strippers, and it seems like he really took pride in like how much like he wanted to realistically represent people in the industry. But then when it comes to someone playing video games, it's like he didn't do any research at all. So the way he's holding the controller,
Harry's got his controller ready.
he's like, he kept taking his hand off the controller. He was clicking like crazy, using every finger. The whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking, this is the worst fake video game playing I've ever seen on film.
Yeah, like what the hell is he playing?
At one point he's playing PlayStation. Another point he's playing Xbox.
No,
I think Gears of War.
Talk about the game, like that his fingers
Gears
are
of
like.
War was one of them, which is like it's a shooter for sure, but how fast and how often he was clicking.
You've obviously never seen me play Halo against you guys. On some of those games, like fast, I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, why do movies
That's
always
exactly
get?
what it's like to play Halo.
Why do movies always get video games wrong? Like it's got to be the easiest part of the whole
What do
film.
you mean? Haven't you seen Uncharted?
I've never seen it, and I don't
They
want to.
nailed it.
Haven't you seen The Last of Us? Did you watch the new Last of Us?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't seen it yet. I bet it's dog shit.
I haven't watched it.
But yeah, all they gotta do is get the character to actually play a video game. Just put it on the screen and have them play it. So that was my
They never
biggest
did that.
criticism of the whole movie. 1 star.
That was.
In that scene, it was also interesting how the cleaners are there and the way she kind of looks at them or reacts to them, kind of almost sad or just acknowledging her change in class, you know?
Yeah, there's like a lot of like subtleties with the cleaners. When they come in to clean up after all these big parties, you're supposed to feel something like, oh yeah, like this is kind of gross. So I definitely got that with their like the cleaner characters for sure.
I think my criticism would just be there are a couple sequences that could have little scenes cut from them. I think there's a couple in the Vegas trip and then a couple when they're searching for Vanya felt a little redundant.
Yeah, it just goes on too long. It drags.
Yeah, but I think it
You
only
went to
would have
so many places.
it would have maybe saved 5 minutes of runtime, but I think it would have helped move those sequences along a little faster so it didn't feel like it was dragging as much there.
Yeah, I even thought that it felt like I was watching a director's cut of a movie I hadn't seen yet. And then I think the director actually did edit it. So that kind of makes sense. Like, it'd be hard to get rid of a lot of that stuff. But I don't think the story they told and how repetitive some of the sequences were, that it needed to be 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
And I guess I saw an interview with him where he was talking about when he got the funding or whatever contract he signed for it.
Justin,
They
get off
had-
your phone.
I'm reading
They had a-
notes.
We're podcasting.
I'm reading notes.
There was an agreement that the runtime needed to be a specific one, or under a certain time, but he knew that it was going to be whatever it ended up being. So when he signed that, or when he agreed to that, he knew he was lying because he knew the runtime in his head what it was going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could have been a little shorter.
I like the scene when the goons show up and they just got done having sex, and he goes up to the door and the boner's just way out there. Because usually in movies, after like when they get interrupted from sex, it's always just flat boxers, and in this one, it's just out there.
Yeah, you're not immediately after flat boxers.
No, you don't just stop and then you're good.
You're pointing the way, whichever
I'm going to
direction
start
you're
a
going.
band called Flat Boxers.
Yeah, you go from 6 to midnight for sure. You gotta tuck it.
Yeah, even if like the door was broken down, it wouldn't be in
It's like
flat
the
boxers.
it's like the Bachelor guy. That little clip of him.
Oh yeah.
Standing
Oh
up
my
and
god,
hiding
when he
boxers.
puts the boner away.
So I really respect their attention to detail on the boner.
Detail on the boner, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, what's cool is Sean Baker. He usually has a semi-small crew. It's relatively low budget for, filmmaking of that scale, and he does a lot of things himself. He won his Oscars he won 4 Oscars, which was I think tied for the record, and it was Best Picture, Best Screenplay, Best Editing because he edited it, and not Best Director. What was the other one?
Best boy.
Best boobs on screen, best ass on screen.
Yeah, Best Director. It was Best Director. For some reason, I thought
Oh.
it was. I thought that was Brutalist. But yeah, he Best Director. The movie won 6 Oscars, so
Do you think it really deserves 6 Oscars? I mean, the Oscars
she deserved it.
are a joke.
Yeah, she was great.
Justin, you thought Amelia Perez deserved to win.
I've never seen Amelia
I don't-
Perez. Oh, we should watch that.
Why did you pick that?
Oh,
I don't want to. I saw the first 30 minutes. That was enough for me.
we should watch that. It won Oscars, Chad.
You don't get a pick every time. Yeah, Chad, usually if something wins an award of some sort, you're like, this is going to be amazing.
I don't know.
Because
Chad
you
loves
couldn't possibly
Oscars.
understand the
No.
symbolism.
Yeah.
Chad
Chad follows
stands
the
the
Academy.
Oscars.
I don't
Yeah.
trust.
He waits for the
Whoops.
Oscars to be like, what's my favorite movie of the year?
No.
That
I
is
liked this
Chad.
movie way before any of the nominations happened.
Oh, he's such a hipster.
I can't believe you said this was your favorite film of 2024.
I loved it before it was cool.
It was. What were better ones?
The Substance.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Minecraft's 2025. Get the years right.
Strange Darling.
That's in my top.
How is this better than Strange Darling?
Boobs.
I don't know. I liked it more.
I bet you this one had more boobs.
There's some graphic sex scenes in Strange Darling.
I will pass.
Well, spoilers. I haven't seen it.
What else came out in 2024? Was Godzilla -1? Was that 2024? Or is that 23?
I haven't seen that. Wait, maybe I did.
I don't remember.
Moana 2.
Did you guys notice in the movie that Igor eats like Justin?
Nosferatu.
Oh my god.
Did you see him eat that burger?
Yeah.
That
was
looks so good.
A lot.
I was like, this motherfucker's cooking.
Yeah, that is how Justin eats.
Like,
The
he
other-
took the biggest, fastest bites I've ever seen.
Yeah, the other day we ordered pizza. I swear by the time we had our plates with pizza in it, Justin finished a slice. And I said, hey, Justin, do you want another slice? And he goes, no, thanks. I've already had 4.
4?
Before we got our pizza in hand,
Before
ready to
they
go
finished
down.
one, I'd
He
eaten 4
was
pieces.
finishing one, and he said it was his 4th.
And they
Damn.
go, they thought I was joking. They go, no, it's not. And they open the box and it's almost all gone.
It was
of all-
shocking.
How do you eat 4 slices and then how do you eat them so quickly?
It just happens.
It made no logical sense.
That boggles my mind. You're probably the reason why Instagram keeps serving me a contest eating algorithm stuff.
I could be in an
I
eating contest.
I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
They're actually quite interesting.
But on the flip side, I can also go, I could fast for a day and be fine.
No, no, you can't, because as soon as you get hungry, you're like, I'm shaking, I have to
I'm
eat,
so
and everybody
weak
has
right
to stop.
now.
All right.
Little
Everybody has
grumpy.
to stop
gonna wither
immediately. So
away.
that
Little grumpy,
grumpy.
hangry boy.
All right,
Yeah.
let's have a competition.
Where
I'll
are
do
the
it.
cookies?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
24 hours.
It's all shaky.
I'm shaky.
24 hours, no food.
I
Let's
gotta
do it.
eat.
Yeah, and do it right before the next podcast.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Just gonna be like, I hate everything with dog shit.
Can I have coffee and water?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
24-hour fast. Here we go.
Other things I liked when they were in that store again with his friends and they were looking for Vanya. Somebody goes, "Oh, I know. Get on Instagram. Reach him on Instagram." He goes, "I don't have Instagram. I'm an adult."
And then apparently the lady in the cafe who was like, she said, maybe someone kidnapped him. She was
yeah.
just a random person. She
I love
wasn't an actor or anything.
That's funny.
Yeah, I heard they did some guerrilla style filmmaking in that part. Just kind of going into different places. I was also wondering if some of the places that they were going to had a lot of significance in the director's background, or if they're big key local spots for that area of New York. I was trying to think, for these hot spots that I should recognize and be like, oh, it's that.
Maybe Coney Island, but
Yeah. It was cool to see all the different hubs for different cultures within New York. I haven't really spent a lot of time in New York, but it's cool to see oh, they're at a Russian club, or a club over here that has all these different melting pots of culture that we don't get to see a lot in Omaha or Iowa.
that's why I liked living in New York.
Did you guys see the cop dog?
Cop dog.
The shepherd?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the airport.
Should we get to
Why-
toward the end-ish?
Why
That was towards the endish.
did I miss something, or did they not check the club that he met her first?
They did not.
Why?
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
I thought she was trying to protect the club a little bit or something. But then when they revealed that he was at the club, she's like, duh, let's go there. I'm like, well,
Yeah, what the hell was that?
why wouldn't they just check there?
That seems like the first place you'd go.
Yeah, it was weird.
Chad missed it.
I kind of wish we would have gotten to a little bit more of a point with him where he was coming out of his drunken stupor, because I would have liked to see more of his reaction to the situation, a little bit more bratty, spoiled little idiot. like, I wanted to see him get in trouble a little bit more. I wanted to see a little bit more of his reaction besides he was being weakened at Bernie around.
Yeah, but that was like a severe come down.
He was on the bender.
Yeah, his state definitely, for me, was believable. He was...
I'm not saying it wasn't believable. I'm saying I would have liked to see more of that, his reaction when he was outside of that.
Well, I think they didn't go to her strip club because I think in her mind, there's no way he would go there.
But why wouldn't you check?
That would hurt her too much.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you check, though? You're going to drive all over New York, you're going to bash up some ice cream shop, and you're not going to go check the place that he met her? Come on. What are we doing here?
What was the mom saying when Annie said she was going to get a lawyer and take half? What was the mom saying to her? Was she basically telling her, like, he doesn't own anything?
She was saying that whatever you do have is going to be gone because they have so much money. Doesn't matter if she has a lawyer. They'll bury her basically in debt and she will be destitute. Which I thought in that moment it could have gone either way. Either she goes along with it, but I also thought maybe her and Igor were going to bail right there.
Yeah, I was really rooting for her to not continue going along with it.
Because it could have been her saying, well, I don't have anything anyway, so you can't really take anything from me, so I'm going to... But when you have a life where you're dependent on your car and you're working just to get by in a not great environment, you can't really afford to lose any of that.
I was frustrated that she didn't go after the family and their money at first. And when the movie ended, I was pissed about it. I'm like, that's fucking dumb. And then I thought about it. It's like, it makes the movie more interesting that they didn't go there. And it was more realistic that she's just a young girl and like having these very rich assholes bossing her around. It just seemed believable.
I would like to see a breakdown of the finances. Because if you're with some broccoli-haired rich boy who can afford an escort, who's paying her, $15,000 to be his girlfriend for a week, or whatever like high-rolling clients she has, how much does she have to kick up to her boss? Because it seems to me if she had just a little bit of financial planning, those thousands could go a lot farther than
New
the
York's
dump,
expensive.
than
not New
the
York.
dump she was living in.
No.
Yeah, 15,000 was not going to get her very far at all.
It's not life-changing money.
Well, I'm not saying life changing.
Chad
I'm just
Segura.
saying I want to know. Yeah,
It's not, though. Like
$15,000 a week.
Yeah. In New York, that's like, I imagine her place, that would maybe be 4 months of rent. Like, that is not a lot of money, especially in New York.
It'd be great to have,
Yeah,
That's
it probably
honestly-
make her really comfortable for a period of time, but it's not going to change the trajectory of her life in any way.
I've looked at rent in some apartments in New York that are tiny, and it's insane.
have you ever seen any of those YouTube videos where they tour?
Yeah, I love
New
watching
York
those.
apartments. Me too.
But that's what was kind of so sad about it was she thought this was
Yeah.
her. She was out.
I was excited for her
Her
to
whole
get out.
world
I was like,
was changed, and then she had to slowly come to the realization that no, I have to let this idea go.
But couldn't
yeah,
she?
to end up with just $10,000 to get the annulment. I was like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, you kept wanting her to really go after them.
Yeah,
where
negotiate.
she did have that kind of thing at the end where she was telling them that her son's a pussy and all these things. But
Yeah,
you
which
really
I love.
wanted
But
her
I
to-
wanted because she was such a hustler the whole time. I wanted her to try and get more out of it than
Yeah.
$10,000. But I think she was also wrapped up in the fact that she was having a hard time understanding that he actually didn't love her and was just a spoiled brat.
She was kind of heartbroken.
She
Yeah.
did get more than 10,000 though, because she got the ring,
Yeah.
and that was worth a lot of money.
I
Right.
loved that part. I was so excited that she got that thing.
So she probably ended up with quite a bit.
Yeah, I expected her to do some more negotiating, though, because even during the part when he's proposing, she was negotiating the ring and
Yeah,
was
3 carats.
still thinking like very money forward. And the group was going to pay her out. They weren't going to flake on the deal that they made. So she did have an opportunity to raise the price of that and take more than the 10, and she didn't, which I was disappointed in.
I think that was intentional.
There's no reason not to.
Yeah, but no, she was, by that point, broken down. She was heartbroken. She was sad. Her whole world, what she thought it was going to be is not that. And also, she was up all night long. And I think she was just like, fuck this rich life anyway, unless she threw the coat back at him. She kind of renounced that. So she was like, whatever, 10,000, sure,
Yeah, it was like an interesting character development point that she didn't try to get more. I was stoked when she got the ring, and then after that I was done. The last scene was super boring. I didn't think they needed to bang in the car. I thought that was a weird way to end the movie.
The banging at the end had some sad symbolism behind it. It was like her way of connecting and showing affection.
That's the only way she knows how to show appreciation or, anything for somebody.
Yeah,
He's
that makes sense.
confused.
She received a ring, and so her instinct is, I've received a gift from someone, so now I owe them. And he, like, when she starts banging him, he tries to kiss her because he doesn't necessarily see it that way, like as a transaction.
Right.
But her whole life is sex as a transaction. And so when he's trying to kiss her, she rejects it and breaks down. Like, her whole idea of intimacy is like broken because of her work and everything leading up to it, which I get it. I get why I like the ending, but the way it was done was so uncomfortable because it was very realistic. Like, the sex was realistic. The whole situation was very like you're peering into someone's car. It felt like you weren't supposed to be seeing that scene. Like, it felt very raw.
Well,
It was raw.
It was definitely raw.
It's fucking raw.
Fucking raw! It's fucking raw! The fucking bass is fucking raw!
Yeah, I just think it just everything leading up to that it started to get really fun and really exciting, and then it brings you right back down at the end, and then the credits roll, and I'm just like, of course, like, I get it. It makes me sad.
It was
That's
a Chad
the point.
ending.
It was a Chad ending.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear Harry say the sex was realistic.
Well,
Ugh.
it was realistic for the work she did because it seemed like exaggerated stripper kind of sex. It didn't seem intimate, or it was performative. That's how she knows how to do it.
The scene when she trains the young chap with the broccoli hair to fuck, Chad was like, yeah, yes, I love this scene. Ooh, yeah, just like that. Just like that. That was you watching this film, Anora.
So
Do you think that's how I watch anything? No.
Yeah, you watch the Poor Things. Oh, the baby. Yeah, get the baby.
Well, we'll talk about Poor Things some other time.
Damn it, I'm gonna rewatch Poor Things and like it this time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna train you guys to like good stuff. You're not gonna know what's
Give me something
happening.
that's artsy that has less bodies slapping together.
overall, I liked the movie. I liked it actually quite a lot. I just, to me, the note that it left on made me think I probably won't be watching this again.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it again.
It left on a bummer. It started as a really slow burn. The middle felt almost tonally like it shifted to pure comedy. So I would really need to like prepare myself like, okay, I'm going to sit for 2 hours and 20 minutes of some parts that I don't necessarily need to see again that are sandwiching a really funny middle section. And I don't know the headspace I would need to be in to decide to watch this again. But I'm glad I did.
It is like they blended genres very well. It changed genres like 3 times and you don't really know that it has until it did. Like the second act it just seems so slapstick.
It is Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to that point, I didn't realize that that's what I was watching. It's like, oh, this film totally just changed on me. Like, it's now a comedy.
And when I'm watching it, I'm laughing. I'm having such a good time. The escalation of everything, the guy puking in the car, them taking the car off the tow truck, and then later getting a ticket. It was all so funny. And I was like even thinking like, oh, I would totally watch this again. But then I remembered the first half is like 45 minutes of character building that you have to watch to get to the part that's a little more rewatchable. And I'm just like, yeah, like I doubt I'll watch it again, but ultimately I did like the journey it took me on.
As a consumer, sorry, go on, Chad.
I enjoyed rewatching it, but it's not something I'll put on again.
Yeah,
for a while.
As a consumer, I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed like the filmmaking aspect of it even more. Just it was really unique.
Another thing that was interesting was how anytime someone would call her a prostitute or a whore or something, she would get very offended, and she would say she's not a prostitute, but she was a prostitute.
He's in denial.
Yeah.
I think she's a stripper first, and she has been paid for sex, but I don't think it's her main thing. It's just when high rollers come in and offer it.
Well, and I think that's just not how it's referred to anymore. I think
yeah, that's true.
It's more like escort or sex
You're
worker.
not supposed to say that.
But even when he calls her an escort, she's really,
mad.
really offended by it. And that was kind of like the last straw for her when he says it.
Was that on the plane?
On the plane, yeah.
Yeah. I liked when both the workers tried to get close to the family in that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah, he tells the one guy not to do it, and then
he does. He's like, actually, thank you.
And I liked the scene where it was her and Igor hanging out at the house and sharing cigarettes and then joking around, and she brings him a blanket. I thought it was cute.
I still don't think I can't speak for her, but it just seemed a little out there that she had already forgiven the fact that he had her tied up and gagged and shit, and then she's just being buddy-buddy with him.
It's just I think just the situation was a little wild, so who knows how you would form a bond.
But she did cut back to being pissed at him.
Yeah.
She's like flirting with him and like having fun, and then she's like, "'Cause you fucking tied me up, blah blah blah," and walked out of the room.
Yeah, what was she calling him? Oh, whatever, I can't say it.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny when he was asking what that means.
Yeah.
In the restaurant.
I liked.
Yeah, it was cool, Chad.
I liked
Chad.
just her character over time. How at first she's pretending to be this person, but it's not exactly who she is. And then kind of she starts buying into the fantasy with him. And then she fully believes it. And then her world gets shattered. And then by the end of it, she doesn't really know who she is anymore.
I just wish she would have hustled for that money, because they have it. Like being on the private jet. Come on, girl. Let's get some more of that money. But, I don't think there was enough tits in the film. That would have elevated it. There could have been more asses, more stripping.
More cheeks clapping.
A lot of slapping would have helped.
Mm-hmm.
I go into a film, and if there's not cheek clapping, then what are we doing? Why am I spending my time on this? How am I supposed to
Well, speaking of
jerk off?
clapping cheeks.
You sure you want to bring that up, Harry?
Speaking of clapping cheeks, I thought the sound design was really interesting. Like they rarely used a score throughout it, and usually if there's music playing, it's because in the scene there's something playing music. There's not a lot of actual music kind of setting the tone for you, which I thought was really cool. And with the video game scene, when he's like clicking the buttons, like it's super intentional. Like I can imagine the director telling him to make loud click noises, because it kind of like sets the scene as well with the sound of it, similar to at the end with the windshield wipers going back and forth during that whole scene. That's really all you hear. Yeah, so like they used the sound effects as sound design of what's happening in the scene.
To be fair, the controller probably wasn't making sound on set. That was probably all Foley.
The sound was interesting because there wasn't a lot that smoothed over the edits. And when she's walking home from the strip club, it's just train sound to train sound to train sound, because she's by the trains, but it's not like there's no music to help smooth it out. There's no fades, or it's not a continuous bed of sound. They're all hard cuts. In the strip club too, even the music, it's like cut to a new song, cut to a different part of the song. It didn't matter if it felt smooth, because it wasn't.
You're probably going to get mad about this, but it kind of, the parts with them yelling in the house and just the chaos of it kind of reminded me of the filmmaking in The Bear. Like The Bear is very good at doing a lot of shouting scenes where just stuff is happening and chaos is unraveling before you, and all the characters have some role in it. That's what it sort of reminded me of.
Or
Like,
it's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at this. Dog shit. Did you just step in that on purpose?
A lot of yelling.
Yeah,
So
that-
this movie was kind of loud and annoying in parts, but that brought me enjoyment because I thought you guys were hating it.
Nope.
No, when she's screaming in the house and Igor is in her face, stop screaming.
Yeah.
I was cracking up.
Yeah.
I know.
Imagine like the energy it takes to film a scene like that. She's just constantly screaming. It made me tired watching it.
And I was thinking, from a filmmaker's point of view, how tough it would have been to edit that with all the audio. And like,
Oh,
there's no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll never understand how movies do scenes like that when a bunch of different people are yelling and has such good continuity. It's like, how?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be
so.
there's got to be somebody on
overstimulated.
set that's just their whole job is just to make sure the continuity is the same, the way they're yelling, like where they're at and everything.
Yeah, I was wondering how they shot and edited that scene because there's points where one person is yelling, but where maybe we have like a close up on him on the couch and he just says something under his breath while this other person off screen is still saying the main dialogue that you're supposed to be listening to. So it's like most films would cut to him when there's more space for him to say that, but it's just this kind of offhanded comment tucked underneath what you're supposed to be listening to, but they cut to him to show him say it. So I was like, how did they shoot that? Were they just going through the whole scene with this guy off camera, or were they shooting the other guy and then just after that went in and filmed this but decided to edit it underneath that? Like, how did they do that?
Yeah. So
Anyway,
was Anora total dog shit?
fuck no.
Nope.
Nope.
This is the best movie of last year.
Yeah.
Allie, was it total dog shit?
No.
We give Chad Minecraft, and he gives us a multiple award-winning, critically acclaimed, well-known as one of the best movies of 2024. And he's like, "Did you guys hate it?"
It
Well,
wasn't
no.
it wasn't total dog shit, but as a sister, it's pretty uncomfortable for me to watch sex movies to discuss with you guys.
Well, all three of us have post-nut
So-
clarity, so we're coming into this raw.
I hate you.
We're watching it like, "Oh, my boner would do that."
Yeah.
Yeah, his boner would stay up and point towards the door as he ran towards it.
He followed the boner to the door because it was
I'm-
leading him.
Follow your bone.
I
It's
am
like-
rethinking my involvement in the podcast.
It's like
right now.
Swiss Army Man. On Swiss Army Man when his boner's a compass. Manny.
I feel like
I
you
think
guys
your
should buy me
boner's
lunch. We're
guiding
having to
us
put
home.
up with this. You guys
Maybe
need
that means
Venmo me
Allie
for
gets to
having
pick
deal
the
with
next
it.
one.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We got to do Until Dawn still, though. It's relevant,
I don't want to watch that.
but you have to.
Oh, in that case,
Chad, there's probably boobs in it.
I don't care.
Oh! That's like 70% of your criteria for a good film.
yeah, you said
Yeah.
in this podcast, I'm sure
Emma
you'll
St-
cut it,
is
that
Emma
the reason
Stone
why
in
you
it?
like this movie was because
Are
of
there
all the boobs
boobs
at
in
the
it?
beginning.
I don't think I said that.
I remember you saying
Yeah.
that.
Chad has the edit, so he's definitely going to cut it out when he said Anora's really good because of all the boobs. I didn't really pick up on the rest of the stuff that was happening because I was staring at the boobs the whole time.
Flashback.
I missed all the important. We're like, I liked this part of it, and I really liked the cinematography. And Chad's like, wait, what part was that?
Yeah, I'm just Googling stuff real quick. What can I say about Anora?
There was other people in this film?
What do you mean?
great.
They got married?
She was funny in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, too.
I need to rewatch it.
Wait, she's in that?
Yeah.
That's where I was watching it, trying to figure out where I knew her from.
She's one of Charles Manson's group, and
She gets the
at
beans thrown
end-
at her face, right?
Yeah, and her head smashed and lit on fire.
Yeah,
God, that
Leo
is
lights her
her.
on fire in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I don't know why I didn't just Google it. I've been trying to figure out where I've seen her because we just rewatched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I think that's why Sean Baker wanted to work with her. 'Cause he
Can't
saw her
believe
in
you
that
wore
scene.
the Chad face the entire time.
My nose is like bent.
Well, I picked this movie because every movie I recommend to you guys you hate, but I have a whole list of
Don't
them
you feel
ready
like
to
an
go,
idiot?
and I can't wait to show you some of these films. You're gonna love them.
We got to stay relevant.
No, we can do like
We can-
classic movies from the past, or like
Mix it up
I can do
with
whatever I
relevant
want.
and
If it's my
classic,
choice, it's my choice. I picked Pig, and you guys said no
my
because
movie,
we
my choice.
What do you
don't
guys?
have enough views. We have like 200 views. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm gonna pick.
We do. We
what I wanna
appreciate every one of those 200 views.
Chad
what
was
I
gonna pick Poor Things.
No, I was gonna.
But then
pick
he
Pig.
goes, you know what? I want to wait to do Poor Things until we're ready.
Until we're
So
better
he's
at
buttering
this.
us up.
Yeah, till we're
I
better at
do
it.
not want to watch that.
But Pig, I picked it, and you guys said no, so I get another pick.
I think we
you get
should
another
mix
pig?
in.
Yeah.
We should mix in relevant stuff with classics so that we still get views. I know Chad's like, I don't care about views. I don't care about growing the channel, but some of us do.
What do you guys think about? What if we just every week someone else gets to pick the movie? Like, just go in an order.
We can do that, but there can be cases where, Allie had to sit through strip club porn, so now she gets to pick, and I picked Pig, and you guys said no, so I get a pick.
We gotta do Until Dawn.
I get a pick again because
I
I
get
don't
a
want to see
pick.
that. But
Until Dawn's very relevant right now. There's all sorts of reviews coming out about it because it is a video game movie.
Oh, yeah. Guess I didn't realize that.
Yep. And it's probably dog shit.
Did you just step in that on purpose?
Why would I do that?
I have no idea. Why are you still standing in it?
It's just an accident, man. People step in dog shit accidentally all the time.
It looks like shit. It looks like they just totally scrapped all the source material
When does Shrek 5 come out?
next year.
To keep the podcast going until then, at least.
yeah, I mean, if we cared about views,
I do.
if we cared, then we'd be editing out all the farts.
No.
No, that's part of the charm.
Honestly, there hasn't been a fart in this episode. Could someone produce?
Yeah, Allie, you're up.
It's not gonna happen.
Cody messaged me and he said
You guys
that
don't listen to Chad. We do care about views. We appreciate all 37 of our subscribers.
we're at 37 now?
Oh, 38.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's really not bad.
Justin, before you got on, I was telling Harry that our short has like 1,000 views almost.
Does
Really?
it? When I
Yeah.
looked, it had like 300.
Well, it has 1,000 now.
Well,
Yeah. So start caring, Chad. Start appreciating your audience.
Hey
Idiot.
guys, I really
Thank-
appreciate you being here. Be sure to like and subscribe, and
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Book Club.
thank you for stopping in and checking out our video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. For My Name Isn't Chad Wallin.
Oh,
We got one. All right, bye.
press the fart button if you want to stay tuned. All right,
That was
I
pretty
gotta
good.
go to work.
This is going to hurt taking this off because it's taped to my hair. Like it's wrapped around a couple times.
I don't know why you did that.
Well, because I was reviewing an art film, and I really wanted to see vicariously through Chad Wallin. That's how I watched this film. I put on this mask, I saw the tits, I jerked off. It was great.
Cut that out.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, never mind.